Walking in a black man's shoes. Last night I had a dream, and it really troubled me because it kept me awake all night. I dreamed that God had changed the color of the skin that He had originally given me, and how I was black instead of white. And I wondered how I would react in this new black skin God put me in, the color of which I never got to choose. How would I deal with this racist world we're living in now that I'd be walking in a black man's shoes? How would I feel if all my relatives had been slaves, simply because of the color of their face? And how would I feel about people like Martin Luther King and many others who were murdered, went to early graves, fighting for freedom and justice for the African American race? How would I feel if my grandparents on a bus had to give up their seat, or had to walk that extra mile or so to try to find a restaurant where they and their family could all sit down to eat? Yes, how would I feel about all of the racism that exists in the world today? How would I feel if my children came home from school crying, told me it's because they're black, that the white kids just won't let them play? I guess I wouldn't be too happy in a black man's skin, and I'd have every reason not to be. But I'd be shocked, and I'd be horrified, and I'd be disgusted at the way the world was treating me. But I'd still walk tall and proud in this new black skin God put me in, the color of which I never got to choose. That's why I tell all racists out there in the world today, why don't you try to visualize yourself for just one day walking in a black man's shoes?